Look, nobody forgot about Epic Wars 6. It's that not many of us actually played it before it ceased to exist. Epic Wars 6 is a side-scroller PvE game about destroying the enemy base before they defeat you. The developers designed this game as both a web browser game and a mobile app, but unlike its Flash game predecessors, the sixth title was made on Unity, which made it incredibly annoying for many players to run on PC. The app, however, although deleted sometime in 2018, still has a surviving APK file which still works, which means you can play Epic Wars 6 today, and I can make this video explaining how it works. There are 8 heroes to choose from, and you start off with the hero, Vigraf the Red, and his default unlocked unit, the Hobbit. The way this game works is that each hero has 6 units to use at their disposal, and you can only equip units under the command of their respective hero. For example, another hero, Lilith, unlocks the Bomber by default, meaning that the Bomber can only be used under Lilith's control, and not Vigraf's. The player can bring up to 3 heroes in battle, and up to 2 units per hero. Think of it like Epic War 4, only you can only use Titans under Kara's control. Fundamentally, the gameplay is castles versus castles. However, this game also has some extra features, such as time attack levels where you have a time limit to beat the level. Or sometimes you have to beat 2 castles in one level, really testing your strategy and resource management. After completing each level, the player is rewarded with gold, various items which can be equipped to the hero, and crystals, but only the first time you beat the level. You can use gold to upgrade your items. If you have 2 of the same item in your inventory, the game allows you to fuse them together and leave you with the stronger products to use. Or you can sell them if you'd rather use the extra gold for something else. But that's not all. You can also fight other people's setups in the PvP mode, which rewards you with orange crowns that can be used to unlock powerful titans, which you pay for with your gold. With 6 chapters, each containing 5 levels for the player to beat, and a PvP mode to compete with others, the game has hours of content for the player to tackle. In addition, as you progress through the game, the option is unlocked to replay the previous levels on harder difficulties, and let me tell you that hard and epic mode are significantly more challenging. As a finishing touch, the game offers 12 Cave of Trials, which requires you to face a boss unit, as well as the usual procedure of destroying the enemy castle. What do I think of the game? It's not amazing, but it's also not terrible. The things I love about this game is it still feels like an Epic War game, fusing together the best parts of the previous entries in order to make a fun experience. Whether that's the formation like Epic War 4, hero variety like Epic War 3, and finding that middle ground between heroes versus heroes and destroying enemy bases, Epic War 6 encapsulates everything I liked about the previous entries. While I already appreciated the addition of items into the game, what makes Epic War 6 stand out is that A, you can upgrade the items you already have, and B, last Milan, take notes for the Saga remake, you can sell items. If you have a rare item that you no longer need, you can just dump it and get gold back. Yes, this was a thing in Saga, but you can't do that with Blacksmith Forged item, and nor was it as easy to do like in Epic War 6. But one of the most interesting additions to the game was the evolution of units. Just like in Epic War 5, a unit gains experience when you use it in battle, and you can level up said unit all the way up to level 10, and it will get stronger each time. At level 10, you have the option of evolving a unit, which brings them back to level 1, but also makes them significantly stronger. Think of it like prestiging in Call of Duty. Now, I thought I would hate hero exclusive units more than I actually did. In fact, I actually think it's a good feature that incentivizes variety in gameplay and makes sure that the player works out the right synergies between heroes and units. But one thing I haven't spoken about is the heroes' skills. Each of the heroes have 3 usable skills to use. A special attack, which is just a stronger version of the default, having its own animation and all. A buff or debuff, where you can increase attack, lower opponent's attack, etc, etc. And a magic skill which deals damage anywhere on the field. It's just components like these that make Epic Wars 6's heroes so fun to play around with. All in all, I think they did the formation part of the game alright, but I also have my gripes with this game. Such as the user interface. It's all over the place. Definitely a more nitpicky criticism, but I hate how often I have to click in order to buy stuff in the game. It's like they use Epic War 5's structure of upgrades, but with Epic War 4's upgrade menu, which made the process of getting better a huge inconvenience. On a more ranty note, why the fuck are crystals the main currency that the player spends in this game, despite being the rare currency? Crystals are required for basically everything, other than items and buying some titans, and yet there's a finite number of them obtained through the means of playing the game. Why? Well, let me tell you why. It's because Rudy Sodato thought for the second time in a row that microtransactions in a single player game is an acceptable thing to do. Well done, genius. That worked out great for Saga 1.57, the game that had absolutely no one hacking to get the best troops. And 1.57 was an amazing game that had great longevity. I mean, seriously, if you're gonna have microtransactions in a single player game, it should only be for cosmetic things that make absolutely no difference to the paying player. And even then that's crossing a line because it's a motherfucking single player game. Yes, there is a PvP mode, but it's like Saga's PvP where you fight an AI using another player's army. And even then you can't use your bloody skills or titans. So what's the point? The game turns into side-scroller movie simulator, seeming that micromanaging units is the worst it's ever been in this series. Furthermore, gameplay is probably the most repetitive here than in any other game in this series. With very few exceptions, the game is essentially press move forward, summon some titans, use some skills here and there, and that's it. Win or lose. I thought Saga's difficulty curve was bad, but after level 20, you're gonna need to buy titans. Did I mention that titans are one-time use? They're one-time use. So like here, I'm buying 3 Count Canumbras, and I need 2 to finish this level, which means I have 1 left. Just in case you don't see the stupidity of this, I get 750 gold for beating level 20. The Titan cost me 850 a pop. I am losing money by progressing in the game. And bro, I'm being nice. If I were to use the Archangel, I would have to pay 2 crystals per pop. And we've already discussed how precious crystals are. Thankfully, there is a glitch that exists whereby you can have unlimited titans. But why do I have to rely on the game breaking to freely use an otherwise cool feature? Overall though, Epic Wars 6 was undoubtedly the most evolved game in the series, but it's a hard game to rate objectively. All we have left over from this era of the community is an APK file which crashes at level 5 and at level 29 unless you use a specific team. Vague memories aside, we can never know what it was like in 2016 through 2018. But the beauty of rediscovering this APK file is that anyone can play it today, and I will link in the description so that you can download it. I would also encourage you join the Epic War Hub so that you can get updates on the upcoming remakes which will come out either this year or next year. This video would be physically impossible to make had it not been for Davd. Do check out his channel in the description as he is also working on an Epic War 5 mod. Thank you for watching. Take care.